Hi everyone, it's me Darlene. I just got out of the pool a little bit ago. Well, my hair is a little bit wet. I didn't go completely under because they had just put chlorine and the guy said we should wait 45 minutes and I was like, I don't got 45 minutes, so I went in. First time so far this summer, I just wasn't into it. The pool has been packed. Every time I go by, and I'm like, I don't know any of these people. How many people just moved here and all want the pool? And then today we went by and it was empty. I said, I'm gonna go in the pool. Some people came after a little bit, but it was just like 4 teenagers. Sometimes the pool is like filled with children. I go in to just like swim back and forth, or sometimes I'll hold on to the ladder and then I'll do like leg exercises, you know, things like that. So I went in and I did that for 30 minutes. I thought 30 minutes was good enough to start. I probably won't be able to walk tomorrow, but so that's what I did. I'm glad. I'm gonna start to go in, and I would certainly go at night, but it's spooky, but Joe would go with me, so I wouldn't feel scared. Maybe we'll go for some late night swims. The pool is open till 10. And I'm in my lounging thingy that I put on after going swimming. We're going to a meeting tonight for a speaker meeting, but it's a small group. They don't do potluck. They're not in a place where they like have access to a kitchen and things like that. So I think people will bring some snacky type things. I would have liked to have brought something, but I guess we're going empty-handed. And but I'll see what they bring, and then if we go to the next one, then I'll bring things that other people brought. I'm not eating anyway. We went to a potluck for lunch, and Joe ate there. I had my steak before I went. And anyway, I'm good. I'm just glad to go and listen to a speaker. Okay, now I know a lot of people come in to watch the moving company updates, but I do want to also send you to my eBay because I forget to do that. The link is in the description of this video. My eBay store name is darlenemichaud. And look for my scrap packs because they're super cool and I'm selling a lot of those. And my auctions, I have 2 little auctions up and running. My auctions start at 1 penny with free shipping for the USA. Outside USA would have to pay shipping. And I like to put little odds and ends. I'm trying to keep the auction things small so I can mail just with stamped envelopes. Or eBay has one now that I can do about this size. It actually can be a little bit longer, and it's anywhere from like 97 cents to $1.23. I can't remember, and I can print it out, so I love that. So I'm trying to stick to stuff that will fit in those envelopes, because anything that's a little bit thicker becomes a package. I mean, it's like $4.50 to $5.50 that it cost me for shipping, and some of these auctions, you know, sell for $2. So, but I do it because it brings me new customers, and I just enjoy doing it. Been doing auctions for over 25 years because when I started with eBay over 25 years ago, you could only do auctions, so it became my thing. Okay, is there anything else I want to say? I don't know. I just have a lot of series going on, and I have this still going on. So I was expecting a check from the moving company, check number 3. This is June? Yeah, on a certain day this month, and it came on the day. So the first check came in the grace period. They have 5 days after the due date to be late, and then the second check came a little bit before the due date, and the third check came on the due date. And I'm actually looking at the blog that I had set up for my moving company help, and I was working on it. I said, let me do that today and then I'll have that ready for this video, but I'm not going to have it ready because I linked to a lot of things. I have to look at every single link and make sure that I haven't named them. I mean, I have to delete all that. I was interrupted by my own brain. I went blank in the middle of talking and just was like, what am I saying? So I edited, and now I'm back. Yes, so that blog, I took it down during the whole lawsuit, but I'm going to be putting it back up, and it's going to give you links to very helpful things. And when it's back up, I'm going to tell you to please, please share that with anyone who plans on moving. Very simple, basic things that I did not know to do, or didn't even know that that kind of help existed. Like being able to quickly check to see not so much reviews, but about your mover, like if they're actually licensed. I was contacted by one mover. I never told that story. I will have to tell that story. And it's why I ended up going with the one I went with. I had talked to the one I ended up going with before, but then I still wanted to check, and then I fell for something, pure stress, knew right away I had done the wrong thing, and it took a little, bit of effort to get out of that, but I did. It was an eye-opener, and I told that story to the people that I ended up going with. I remember calling and saying, do you remember me? I just talked to you a few days ago. You told me you had a truck that had a cancellation. Is there still room for me on that truck, and this and that? And I explained to her what I had just gone through, and she just reeled me in. But the other thing wasn't even a moving company. And when I found out about this place, I looked up the other one. No, they weren't licensed or anything like that. So I will explain that story one day when I trying to get through getting my 5 checks, and then I'll feel like, okay, phew. And then I will, like I said, I want to still help people. And I will with my blog that I'm going to be putting back up. And I just have to go through it, and, because I was posting and telling my story there. And, I'm just going to have to delete a lot of names, and I don't know how messy that's going to make it, so I might have to redo it for a bit, but we'll get there. I'll get there. Am I looking at it right now? Yes, I am. It's not much to read at all, and I have like 5 important links for you, and I also am going to have a link on how to file a complaint. And then I thought, yeah, like people are going to want to file a complaint knowing what I went through, and that's the other thing I don't like. I hate that the moving company was able to do this and file a complaint. That's why I know I would have won anti-SLAPP. You can look it up. It's SLAPP, anti-SLAPP lawsuit, and I still don't understand how come that wasn't done at the same time they were suing me. I have a lot of issues with how this was handled, because they should have been able to prove right up front, look, this is the proof we have. 2.5 years, they never showed any proof. And then at one point during this whole thing, they were like, they don't have the people who canceled. That's a long time ago. I'm not going to look through all those emails. They didn't have anybody who canceled. Don't you think they would have kept that information? And they certainly didn't have anybody who canceled for $50,000 plus. So it really wasn't handled well at all, and that's my bad for not, I don't know, we're supposed to be able to count on our lawyers to know what they're doing, and I do believe my lawyer knew what she was doing, but I also think she just was going to go by the steps. She wasn't aggressive enough to say to them, we need to know what you've got, we need to know now. If you want to settle, then she'll settle, because I would have settled a long time ago. I didn't even know that I was going to have to go to another part of the country for the trial. I didn't know that until like a couple of weeks before. And I was like, what are you talking about? Up until then, everything had been done on Zoom, the hearings. There's other things, I can't even remember the names of things, all done on Zoom. And I thought I was going to be, doing the trial on Zoom. So live and learn, right? Now, if I were in my 20s and I went through this, I'd be like, this is great. This is great now because I might move again. I'm going to have at least learned something, but I don't need this knowledge at this point. It's not going to get me anywhere, because if I move ever again, it's going to be either locally, or if we ever moved somewhere else, I'm putting stuff in a fucking U-Haul and we're driving. Remember my Dunkin' Donuts cup with all the words gone from many years of use. I've had that cup, I don't know, forever. But I feel bad that people could say, well, if I complain, they're going to sue me. And I was thinking, they're not going to sue me. They know they don't have anything on me. They know that I was telling the truth. Why is the microwave or something making noise? It's bugging me. Hang on. This is Joe's phone. It sounded like my microwave. Like if I heat something, I push 30 seconds and I only want 10 seconds, and then I have to push stop and clear, whatever, or it starts to either blink or make noise. Anyway, I don't even know where I left off, and I don't want to edit just to find out what I was talking about. What the hell was I saying? Oh yeah, so, but apparently they felt that, this is what I'm thinking, this is the only scenario that makes sense, that if they sued me, that I would be so scared and that I would say, oh my God, how do I get out of this? And that I'm sure they probably weren't really after money, but I'm sure they would have tried to get money from me because that's what they were trying to do. But, you know, I didn't run from it because I knew there was no way that they had anything on me. And the fact that they're paying me, they sued me and they're paying me, that feels so good to say. That shows that obviously they didn't think they stood a chance, right? Because what's it to them? What's it to them if they could have just continued? It's in their neck of the woods. They didn't have to travel for a trial. Why not just continue to sue me? And they didn't just drop the lawsuit either. Well, because they knew. That's right. They would have known that I would go after them with the anti-slap. But they didn't drop it. They ended up settling with me and paying me money. So I hope that is a little bit of a lesson to other moving companies. Like, just don't do that. Because there are people like me who will, you know, take it through. And the only reason I considered going to the trial, I considered it very seriously, talked to Joe about it. We figured out how we would go. We would have to drive. We were going to take Rocket with us. But then I was like, what if Joe with his diabetes and has to go to the hospital? And, you know, and then there's a chance that we wouldn't even have it, that it could be canceled and we'd have to come back and then go back another time. But I seriously considered it. But then my lawyer was saying, you know, even if you did that and you win, there's no guarantee you get the money. And I do know that. But I could have been happy. It would have cost me a lot of money, a lot. Like, I don't think you even know how much. So I made the right choice. But so I ended up just settling and not being able to say their name. Now, here's the thing. Had they been nice to me right from the beginning, none of this would have happened. They're acting like I have a lot of pull, right? Like I destroyed their business. Like all these people left and didn't go through with the move. They canceled their move, and none of that happened. And at least they didn't show us anything like that happened. And if they think I had pull, what they didn't realize is, had they been nice to me the very first time they offered me some money, and I took it, and then they said, but we're going to have you sign this, and I was still okay, and then I slept on it, and I was like, I can't do that. Had they not done that, I would have been saying how wonderful that company was. That she found out I was, you know, being given a hard time about some other issues that I had, and that she solved the problem. And they paid me some money at the time. It was what, $1,444. I would have been happy, and I would have let everybody know. But instead, they're paying me 5 checks. I hope they learned something out of this. I don't know. All right, you guys, I gotta go. I gotta burn my mouth one more time. Hang on. Wow, that's hot. I like it hot. And I'm going to edit this, the rest of this. Do go check out my eBay, pretty please. I don't know, what else? Go look at all my other auctions. If you're here just for this, go look at, not auctions, videos. Go look at my other videos, because maybe I have something that you like, maybe not. And I'm very busy. I'm trying to do a video every day. I know I have skipped, of course, some days, but I've been doing pretty good this week. Let's see. I did one on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Let's see what I did last week. I did one on Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I missed 2 days last week. I didn't do a good job. I'm going to hang up now. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. I'll be back with more soon. Bye.